driving rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it definitely is going to be a factor here this afternoon at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
Pulls it in at the 13.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Steps away toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. Takes it to about the 37. The Broncos at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they come in off a disappointment last time out. That put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
And quite frankly, there wasn't a whole lot to draw on in the loss last week because they were dominating every phase of the game. You got to hope that they show a little more life in this one because they certainly didn't have it in their last outing.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield. Looking to throw. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. They'll set up a throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. They'll set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Red, cycle.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by Davis.
Down the right sideline. And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out.
A big play there for Cincinnati. 48 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
Black Ultra. Dog red. Right, right. Ready?
He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. Up the middle they go. Winters. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Ball at the 1-yard line, 4th down. What do you say?
I say go, because if you can't get 1 yard, what's the old adage? If I can't get 1 yard, I don't deserve to win anyway. Tell your team it's that time. Who's going to get down in the trenches, grind it out, and make sure that ball gets in the end zone? Who's it going to be? Let's go do it.
They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Bronco defense comes up big. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the 2nd drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
What's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
Here we go.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Winters showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. Winters at a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Red, yellow. Field, black.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Now they have the game here, followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the 1st quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. We're scoreless after 1. 2nd quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Shot.
They're going to look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. It'll buy some time right.
Got an open man, it's Schwartz.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
19 tight, 19 tight.
Back to throw again. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown.
Anthony Schwartz
with career touchdown number 163. That moves him past LT and into third place all time.
And the Broncos post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
6, 7.
The slot man in motion right. 2nd and long.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Touchdown, Broncos!
Anthony Schwartz.
His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Garibay on for the extra point.
And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Pulls it in at the 13. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Bengals drive about to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2nd and 11. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Let's go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2nd and 9 from the 44.
Now back to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Broncos are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll drop to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. They'll look to throw here. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On second down, McCaffrey. And they'll get him down right about the 20. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Logan. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defender's touchdown.
Christian McCaffrey.
Career touchdown number 136, tying him with Marshall Faulk for 7th on the all-time list.
And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. Garibay on to attempt the point after.
And the kick is no good, but there are flags behind the line. He's going to get bailed out. I think this is going to be a roughing call.
And they'll accept that penalty.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. The penalty got them half the distance to the goal down to the 1, made that try a little easier.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it opens up your playbook, doesn't it? From the 1-yard line, run, pass, do whatever you want there. And they did it successfully.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bengals drive about to get going. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw here. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Broncos will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 27 yards there, 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call, so they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it out past the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 33 yards that time.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off, because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline, and that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
He'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Red, yellow. Blue, black.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Bengals get a bit closer. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And it's now a 28-7 ball game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteeing he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter action in Denver.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And that'll hit and go out of bounds, so they'll start just outside their own 40-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll set up to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go up top again.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10.
Black Ultra.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And now here's another interception. 20. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
2nd down, ball on the 3. 1st down marker at the 1-yard line.
Unlock line! Unlock line!
A handoff left, McCaffrey. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
He'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Hold it ready! Mustang 19!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That is caught by McCaffrey for a Denver touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Okay, break. Ball is red.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis.
And my goodness, another interception. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays. When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
On the move past the 40. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Touchdown, Broncos. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Broncos get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14.
And now off to the races down the right side.
And they're going to be set up beautifully. A heck of a return down inside the 40-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Striker, 3-3.
Up the middle they go. Winters. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They'll set up a throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
Let's go now.
Looking to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Let's go now.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
McCaffrey on the counter. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can run to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He'll look to throw.
And this one too low.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
This offense so far on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Here we go.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Broncos. Possession of the football.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably...
And my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Back to throw again.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They'll look to throw again.
On the slant, he's got Davis. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball. And unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
Like two.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That's brought in by Davis over the middle.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Black shot. Smash, red.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Right back to Davis. It's complete.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Second and 1. The quick slant caught. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
McCann for the point after.
And oh, it's wide right. No good. Back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Now a play fake here on first down. And quickly, he just gets that ball out of there. Not quite sure what he was doing, and here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Back to throw here. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
Garabay's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And now here is another interception.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone. But still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
Kickoff concludes the ball game, partner, and one side a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough. With that one possession down the stretch, might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for the Broncos, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7.